Football is a game where you play a half of football, you go in, you make adjustments against the opposing team. So maybe they got the better of you in the first half. Second half, you come out, execute those adjustments, and you have a pretty good opportunity of winning the football game. Well, 49ers did a good job of it. Cowboys didn't. Let's talk about it.
Here we go! Yeah, here we go! Wait, take
Cowboys.
Throws back of the end zone. There's
What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3 coming to you late night for the beat down in the Bay. Cowboys lose to the San Francisco 49ers 30-24, drops to 3-4 on the season. San Francisco goes to 4-4. Dak Prescott goes 25 of 38, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Should have been about 4 of them, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Zeke leads all rushers, 10 rushes for 34 yards and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 6 rushes for 12 yards. Kevontae Turpin, 1 rush for 11 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 13 catches for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Tolbert, 3 for 44. Jake Ferguson, 6 for 23. Turpin, 1 for 16. Dalvin Cook, 1 for 10. Ezekiel Elliott, 1 for 4. On the defensive side, Owarie had a total of 8 tackles. Eric Kendricks had a total of 9 tackles. Trayvon Diggs had a total of 5 tackles. DeMarvin Overshown had a total of 8 tackles. Jordan Lewis had a total of 3 tackles, and Malik Hooker had 6 tackles. For the 49ers, Brock Purdy goes 18 of 26 for 260 and a touchdown. He was pretty efficient tonight. Isaac Garando goes 14 carries for 85 yards. Brock Purdy goes 8 carries for 56 yards. Ricky Pearsall 1 carry for 39 yards. Jordan Mason had 6 carries for 18 yards. He went out with an injury. Garando had averaged 6.1 yards per carry. He also had a touchdown. Purdy had a rushing touchdown on the quarterback sneak. George Kittle had 6 catches for 128 yards, 21.3 yards per catch and a touchdown. Pretty good for tight end, or for National Tight End Day. Deebo Samuel had 4 catches for 71 yards. Ricky Pearsall had 4 for 38. Grondo and Juszczyk equal. Grondo had 3 catches for 17 yards. Juszczyk had 1 for 6. Leading tackle for them was Fred Warner. He had 8 total tackles. Nick Bosa had two tackles, one assist. He also Dak also got sacked twice times by Lenore and Brown. Where do you go from here? You had a bye week to prepare for this. And for the first half, it got kind of not sloppy at times, but offense really wasn't clicking the way that you would expect off a bye week. But there were some new wrinkles to the offense. You could clearly tell. Zeke actually looked pretty good in the first half. He didn't look bad at all. Dalvin Cook came in, didn't look terrible. Looked like his first game back. Beginning to see that the Cowboys don't run block well or pass block well. What's going on, Sports T? Well, I guess you called it. You did. I got a phone call at halftime from one of my buddies. He's a big Cowboy fan too. And we were talking, just talking at halftime. And, he was excited about the way the Cowboys looked. He said, the defense looked well. The defense looked well. And we got cooked. Defense looked well. And the offense, it wasn't terrible. And I told him, I said, well, you already know that the 49ers are going to make a lot of adjustments at halftime, and we'll see how that works out. And it didn't. One thing that I've learned about this coaching staff, and I got a phone call, an interesting phone. I got an interesting phone call from my mother at halftime. And she said, when I see the Cowboy sideline, she was like, all of their coaches are fat and old. And I kind of started laughing. And that'll make sense in a second. Um, we got into the second half, and the 49ers clearly made some adjustments. They went down their first drive in the second half and scored. And the Cowboys came out and looked absolutely flat for an entire quarter. And you try to figure out why this happens. Dak is clearly flustered. There are things that have to go right in order for quarterbacks to be successful, and some quarterbacks can overcome things like that with mobility. They have, just a keen sense of I had a friend of mine tell me earlier too, like quarterbacks should have a clock in their head. Dak don't have none of that shit. None of it. He can't move. He can't. And every time he seems to step up, it's he's stepping right up into the pressure. Now, I will say this. Terrence Steele is trash. He is terrible. Terrible. There was a sack he gave up to Bosa. And he didn't even touch him. Like, how do you not touch him? Dak threw the interception on the deep pass. He stepped up in the pocket. If he had half a second longer just to get some air on the ball, it probably lands in the end zone. If he's smart, he throws that in the middle of the end zone, and that pass only where Turpin can accelerate and get to the ball, because that safety made a great jump on the ball. He just kind of floated over the Turpin side. I've been asking him to go deep to Turpin. I know I have been doing that, but I want him to go deep to him in the slot to stretch that safety out and open up everything in the middle. If you line him up outside, people know he's either going to run a slant or he's going to run a go. That's what he's going to do. That's just the way their offense is. On the second interception, Lenore made a great play on the sideline, right? But it's just Dak he's flushed out of the pocket. He's moving around. I asked the same buddy if we were going back and forth in the game, and it was a trip, man. We were just going. He's like, $60 million to fix this shit, man. $60 million don't fix none of this shit. He's still the same player he was when he got paid $60 million. When you have a $60 million investment, I'm protecting that shit at all costs. I have to. I've put $60 million into this thing, and I'm counting on you to win me football games. I paid you $60 million. Now it's my responsibility to protect your ass so I can protect my $60 million investment. And the Cowboys have not done that at all. It's time for Terrence Steele to go sit his ass down. Move Tyler Smith to left tackle. Move Tyler Guyton to right tackle, his natural position, and put TJ Bass in at left guard, and just run, just go with that. No creativity with the offense again. You can pretty much call the plays from the house. The only one that really looked like that he was involved in the game today, like he was in it to win it, was CeeDee Lamb. He didn't have a problem tonight getting open. I mean, he had 13 catches, 13 catches, 2 touchdowns. And on the touchdown drives, on the 2 touchdown catches, he was wide open. And you try to figure out, like, where is that at? And the defense is backed off. But once you start protecting the lead and you cut that lead down, the defense goes away. The entire Cowboys season was pretty much just all wrapped up into one giant present on the last drive that they had. First down was a wash. Second down was a wash. First down should have been an interception. Second down was, that guy pressured ball just came out of his hand. It was short and complete. Third down, he drops an absolute dime to Cavante Turpin, and Turpin just dropped it. He just missed it. And then on fourth down, you praying for a pass interference call, you're just not going to get it, The safeties for the Cowboys, particularly Donovan Wilson, his ass is terrible. I told y'all a couple of episodes ago that he was a liability in coverage. You got to see that firsthand tonight. Go back, watch every highlight of George Kittle catching a pass, and look at number 6 covering. Watch. He's getting roasted. And he's not even close. That's the thing. And Kittle ain't no route runner. Kittle's a big brute. Just throw me ball. That's what he does. And you're not even close to him. You're not even there to even attempt to break up a pass. Not even there. Like what are we doing, man? Like, what is this? You had a bye week to prepare for this. You had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You took an embarrassing loss at home to the Lions, and this is the best that you could come up with. Sure, Kittle caught the touchdown on the pick play that I don't give a damn what some official on NBC said. Man, that's a pick play. You can't do that. And that's why the announcers were just like, hey, man, if that's the case, shit, you're going to see every team doing this from now on. That's crazy. That's a pick play. But it doesn't make up for the fact that you come out right after halftime and you come out and lay an absolute egg. There's no creativity to the offense. Dak's got free rushers running at him. He's making horrible decisions because he's flustered. It's trash, man. It's trash. And this is the best that you could come up with. I don't know. And they were talking about, on the news right after the game to do, the little post-game reaction after the game too. And they were talking about, is Mike McCarthy, do you think that he's really working to get a contract for next season? Hell no. No. He's going to be lucky to keep his job this season. These next 4 games that the Cowboys have, man, you needed to start that off with a bang, and that bang needed to start tonight. You got a young Falcons team that balled out today. You got them coming up. You got the Commanders coming up, and that's going to be a tough game. They won on a Hail Mary, man, but they balling. They playing good football. Jaden Daniels is going to be the Rookie of the Year. Then you have the Eagles, and the Eagles run game, run. Saquon Barkley, they finally got it right. Just give the ball to Saquon Barkley, let him run, and it'll open up everything else for you. And then you got the Texans, who they lost Stephon Diggs today on a non-contact knee injury, and I hope he's okay. But that non-contact knee injuries do never look good. That's never good. Then you got the Texans, and then you got the Giants, who are playing pretty decent football too. Like, man, this has this has the potential to go really, really bad, really, really fast. Real fast. And it's hard to stop a snowball rolling downhill. Like, you had an opportunity to stop that shit during the bye, and you didn't do it. You cannot tell me that after a bye week with 2 weeks of preparation, this is the best that you could come up with. That third quarter was trash. And it was too much for you to overcome in the fourth quarter. It was too much. You cannot come out at halftime and go flat, defensively or offensively. San Francisco went out and came down in the second, at the beginning of the second half, and marched the ball down the field with no issues whatsoever. How is that even possible? You know what adjustments they're gonna make. They're going to say, okay, cool. Every single pass tonight that Brock Purdy completed, go back and look at it. Not everyone, but 80% of the pass they completed is crossing across the middle. I said that in the pregame. I said that. Bro, you see, it's obvious. That's why Kyle Hamilton last year had 5 interceptions. That's why. Because Brock Purdy throws everything across the middle. Everything. But yet and still, Ricky Pearsall and Deebo Samuel running across the middle of the field, wide ass open. It was a 4th down play. Deebo Samuel was all alone coming across the middle, but Brock Purdy threw it behind him, and he dropped the ball on 4th down. Or it could have got worse. This is another one of them games, just like Baltimore, where the score is not indicative of what happened. Niners Nation, baby. Yeah, I got to get that to you tonight. You're absolutely right. It was Niners Nation all damn night. Where do you go? Where do you go from here? Your coaching staff looks exactly no. As a matter of fact, y'all can have Trey Lance back if you want him. Where do you go? 2 weeks of preparation. 2 weeks, and this is the best that you can do. It's not good. The coaching staff is old. Jerry really thinks that he put something together this in the offseason, and it's a bunch of coaches that are out of the game. The game has passed them by. It has. The game has passed them by. You made the game interesting at the end. You got stops when you needed to get them. But where was this in the third quarter? This is when we need the stops. When the game, if you have to play complementary football, and the Cowboys don't do that very well. They don't. If the offense is down, the defense is down. If the offense is up, the defense is up. Like, you have to play complementary football. If I'm down, right? If I'm down, I need you to come and pick me up. That's what I need. And it's not happening with the Dallas Cowboys. It's just not happening. I don't know what else to say, man. This is tough. This is one of those losses that you couldn't have. I said in the pregame yesterday that this was probably the most important game of the season. This was the game against your arch nemesis, the team that has just whooped your ass for the last 3 years, and now it's going to be they whooped your ass for 4 years straight. They have. You beat them in 2020. You lost to them in 21, 22, 23, and now you done lost to them in 24. Can't overcome that hurdle. Told y'all, Mike McCarthy, every time they play the 49ers, he looks just like the coach from The Water Boy. I'm going to go get a hot dog. I'll be right back. No, motherfucker, you're going to sit here and you're going to coach this game. That's what you're going to do. And he don't do a good job of it. He doesn't. And it's not all on him. They played like trash tonight, too. That third quarter was terrible. Dak was the only person that played in the third quarter of CDE. That's it. That's it. You got the third team running back popping off 19, 20-yard carries. You got George Kittle running around free. You got Debo catching screen passes, just stiff-arming people to the ground. Like, what is this? After the fight in the first half, the Cowboys woke up and they looked excited and ready to play. You should have known in the second half they're going to come out and they're going to really hit you in the mouth then, and you have to be prepared for it. You have to. And they weren't. Like, wow, where did this come from? Come on, man. We got to do better than this. Got to. Next week, it doesn't get any easier. You playing a dog at running back. You playing a quarterback that's been effective. He's got some really good weapons. He don't just have Justin Jefferson anymore. He got 3 weapons that he can throw to. And we'll break that game down next week, and we'll have a guest on here too. One of my buddies, he got a Falcons podcast and shit. They rolling. They rolled today. Kyle Pitts got me 34 points in fantasy on National Tight End Day. This is just it's atrocious. It's atrocious. Dak Attack needs his head examined. Love CD. Dak Attack needs some. You need to protect your $60 million investment. If you don't protect him, that's the type of shit that you're gonna get. He is not a quarterback that is mobile enough to make up for a bad offensive line. That's not him. It wasn't him before he got paid $60 million. It definitely, just because he got $60 million don't mean, oh shit, all of a sudden he's Lamar Jackson. That shit don't happen. He's immobile. That's just what he is. Ever since he broke his ankle, he just has not been as good on his feet as he was before. You cap that off with a trash O-line, and this is the type of result that you're going to get. It's just like buying a damn house and just leaving the front door open, or buying a $1 million house with no windows. Why the hell are you going to do that? You're going to protect your investment. You're going to buy great windows. You're going to get great insurance for your house. You're going to paint it. You're going to keep it clean is what you're going to do. And they don't do that. The offensive line is trash, and it's not even the rookies. The rookies are going through growing pains, but they didn't play terrible tonight. They didn't play terrible at all. Matter of fact, Cooper Beebe played well. Tyler Guyton didn't play bad either. But your right tackle, Terrence Steele, the one that you paid $30 million a couple years ago, he has to go. You have to say, hey, I made a mistake. I paid you money. You got a free check. Cool. You got to go. We'll see you later. We'll eat that loss. It's kind of the same kind of mentality that the 49ers had with Trey Lance. We drafted you 3rd overall. We made a mistake. The 7th round quarterback is better than you. We'll see you later. And what did the Cowboys do? Go pick his sorry ass up. Dallas Cowboys. Trey Lance makes more money than Derrick Henry, by the way. Just take that for your cup of tea before you go to bed. You could have cut his ass and got Derrick Henry. You knew damn well you was going to pay Dak Prescott at the beginning. You knew you were going to pay him. You knew you were going to pay CD Lamb. Why do you wait to pay them? You paid CD Lamb the day of the first game of the season, and it magically opened up $28 million on your salary cap. You could have done that in the summer and opened up 28 in a tax-free agency. That's what you could have done. Bad business. That's what it is. That's what it boils down to. You got this old washed up ass coaching staff standing over there looking crazy. Like, man, you look at the 49ers sideline, man, it's all young coaches. They run around high-fiving players and shit. Man, they're excited to come out there and play football. The Cowboys are a direct reflection of their head coach right now. Matter of fact, they're a direct reflection of their owner right now. That's what they are. Because he wants to be the face of the franchise. My bad, Jeffrey. I'm on one tonight, man. I'm hot. Bro, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't understand it. I don't. Prayers out to the Jones family that got in the car wreck before the game. I'm glad everybody's okay. I really am. But it doesn't take away the fact that Daddy Jones is a horrible GM and he needs to step down and let a real GM come in and run this team. Yeah, they are Jerry's kids. This is exactly how they acting right now. Look, the star on the side of your helmet, man, is not going to win you football games. It's not going to do it. It's not. You're going to have to go out there and perform. Keep your $60 million investment upright so his ass ain't rattled. Because if he has time and he can stand back there in the pocket and throw the football, he showed you in the fourth quarter what he can do. It's possible, but you got to keep him clean. He ain't Lamar Jackson. He ain't going to run around. Shit, he showed you tonight. He ain't Brock Purdy either. Purdy can run the ball. Dak's just not that anymore. He's not Mississippi State Dak. He's not. Keep your $60 million investment upright, and it starts by getting rid of your damn right tackle. He's got to go. He cannot have free rushes in his face every play. Design rollouts, do something. What are our Cowboys going to do now? I don't know, man. I really don't know. And it's hard. It's hard to even fathom what they're going to do right now because you so far, like the snowball is rolling. It's rolling downhill. There's nothing you really can do right now. Hold on for the rest of the season. That's all you can do. Because the way that this schedule is set up, you were the divisional champs last year. So you got this first pay schedule. Your next 5 games are rough. We're starting with this one. So your next 4 games are rough. And you play young, hungry football teams. You play teams that are battling for first place. And they're going to come out and they play in Dallas and they're going to give you your best. They're going to give them their best shot every time. And you're going to have to overcome that. And it's going to take some time to play calls. And it's going to take your quarterback upright. And it's going to take your quarterback having to break the pocket and catch some and make some plays. Or you could tank the season. You could. That running back from Boise State looks excellent right now. He looks great. But shit, even if you get him in the first round, you gotta open holes for him. You got to. Zach Martin, I'm sorry, man. Future Hall of Famer. But his best playing days are behind him. He didn't look that great either. This might be the realest statement I done heard in the last couple of weeks. Jerry not going to let anybody else get the credit, so we screwed. You are absolutely right. And I said this a few podcasts ago, right? The next head coach that comes in here and the team is successful, NFC Championship game, Super Bowl appearance, whatever, he is going to be deemed the head coach to save the Dallas Cowboys. That would take the credit away from Jerry Jones. Jerry has wanted, since Jimmy left this organization, Jerry has wanted to do things his way. He is going to get a coach with a personality that is beneath him so he can control and keep his thumbprint on top of everything. A coach like Bill Belichick is not going to come here because Bill Belichick is going to want to put his thumbprint on team. All them tours and landing your helicopter on the practice field and shit, that shit goes away. It's gone. And in order you have a head coach like that, Jerry's not going to stand for that. That's why in the back of my mind, man, it keeps it like I don't think Mike McCarthy is going anywhere. Because Jerry is old. He's 82 years old. He's not trying to build this relationship with nobody else no more. He got the relationship that he wants right now. I tell you this about Dak Prescott. I've heard a tremendous amount of people say he's not 60 million. He's not worth $60 million. Hell no. He's not worth 60 million, but he's $5 million better than Trevor Lawrence. And that, my friend, is 60 million. Terrence Steele. Now, Terrence Steele tore his ACL 2 seasons ago. Last year, I gave Terrence Steele a pass for everything that he did all season because I'm like, the dude is just coming off an injury. You know, he is a full season removed from that injury. And to be honest, his play has just gotten worse. And I don't understand it. You got a dude lined up a yard away from you because the inside of that yard is the neutral zone. He's lined up a little bit outside of you, but his inside shoulder is probably even with your outside shoulder. How can he come in on multiple occasions and not even get touched? You know the damn snap count. You automatically get a half a second head start. It's just natural reaction. You hear go and you move, and then the defense moves. And the defensive end is getting a clean jump on Terrence Steele every single time to the point that he can't even put his hands on him. Not block him, can't even put his hands on him. He's reaching, Bosa's knocking his hands out of the way, and he's gone. Now he did a better job in the fourth quarter. He did a better job. Bosa was having to kind of loop around it, but he's still getting around him and chasing Dak out of the pocket. Like, I don't understand it. There is no engagement with Terrence Steele whatsoever. Defensive line tonight, trash. Look up again. Mozzie Smith is 4 yards down the damn field. How does this happen every week? How? Trent Williams didn't even have to do much tonight. He was kind of chilling. They did that tackle pull play that they run where he lead blocks. He went through the hole. He looking for people here because ain't nobody there. I don't understand it, man. There has to be a moment. You have to do something to shake up the system. And I'm not opposed. Just fire the head coach and make Al Harris the head coach. He's young. He's exciting. You know, the secondary. You're right, Jeffrey. It's a lot of yes men in the organization, but those yes men in the organization for a reason. I'm telling you, just look at the coaching staff. Just go on the Dallas Cowboys webpage and look at the coaching staff and look at them. They're all 60 and above, except for Al Harris. They don't have any young coaches. Not any young coaches like position coaches. I'm talking about young coaches, coordinators, things like that. That's what I'm talking about. They don't have any young coordinators. Offense, defense, special teams, all those dudes are 60 and above. All of them. They don't have any young minds anywhere. All the game, look, man, Mike Zimmer's that's why he's not in Minnesota anymore, man. The defensive scheme didn't work there. You just thought he was going to sit out a year and it was magically going to work. It's not. McCarthy was out of football for 4 years. McCarthy is a Super Bowl winning coach. Man, that dude won 1 Super Bowl with a prime Aaron Rodgers. That is not impressive. And then got fired the year after he won it. Come on, man. Maybe Al Harris will bring some excitement on the sideline. I mean, they look dead on the sideline. You look at the sidelines. You look at the sidelines on these other teams, man. They high-fiving plays happen on the sideline, man. They yelling at the opposing team. They doing all types of things, man. It's a mental game as much as it is a physical game. It is. You look at the Cowboy sideline, they move out of players' way. They not a word, nothing. Dak sitting over on the sideline looking at that damn iPad. It ain't helping you read defenses tonight. It didn't help you in the third quarter read defenses tonight. horrible ass route combinations. Cowboy receivers run the same damn plays over and over again. But the thing about it is, though, is San Francisco do the same shit over and over again too. It's all crossing routes. That's all it is. Everything is a crossing route, and you can't stop it. These other teams have figured it out. That's why they were 3-4 coming into the game. You stopped the crossing routes with Brock Purdy, and you got them beat. He's not putting anything outside the hashes. He's not doing it. And if it does, it's a flare past the use check because McCaffrey ain't there. You had 2 weeks to prepare that shit. Man, I'm sitting on my couch and I can see that shit. Defensive coordinator Zimmer making over $1 million sitting up in the damn booth on the sideline and can't figure that shit out. Come on, man. They are soft. I'm not you right, Visions. They are soft. It's mentally soft, but you take on the attitude of your head coach. Your head coach is getting run over in the damn locker room by your owner. And how can you tell that your owner landed helicopters in the middle of damn practice? Practice stopped because Jerry didn't land his damn helicopter in the middle of practice. It is what it is, man. It ain't no need to sugarcoat it. They look bad. And I really, really hoped it was going to be sharper especially coming out of bye week. You had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Damn, looking forward. You can only take, at this point in the season, you can only take one game at a time. Don't nobody give a damn about the Eagles in 2 weeks. You got the Falcons next week. You had the 49ers this week, and you failed to prepare for it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something got to give. You're going to get you cannot continuously just get your ass whooped and just take it. Like, you can't do that. And Visions, you listen. It is hard to tell a man that bought a team for $175 million that he's losing and is worth $12 billion. He got the limelight. This is his dream. He wanted to be the face of the franchise. Well, you get it now. You the face of the franchise, Jerry. This is you. You the face of the franchise. You did nothing in the offseason to get better. And anybody that had any hopes, this team, they'll go 12-5 and lose in the playoffs. Man, go watch my first episode. It's either my first one or my second one. Watch it. I picked this team to win 5 games. You ain't got no running backs. You got one wide receiver. You got a decent tight end, and you got a shaky-ass offensive line. I did expect the defense to be a little bit better. I was hoping Mozzie Smith took a step up. I was hoping that he did. O.C. Odigizua is the only defensive lineman that does something. The other ones are hurt. But even when they were hurt, they still was getting trounced. When DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons were there, they were still getting pummeled. Derrick Henry ran all over their ass. Both of them was on the field that day. So don't say, when they get back, it's going to be better. Bullshit. No, it's not. You know what? Listen. The 49ers had a lot of things go their way tonight. This is true, right? But as a Cowboy fan myself, right? I don't feel good about this loss because you had 2 weeks to prepare for it. And this was the best that you could put on the field in 2 weeks. Your offensive line was clearly better with Tyler Smith at left tackle, TJ Bass at left guard. It was better on the left side. Your right side is still weak. If you really want to give your rookie some playing time, and I'm talking about Tyler Guyton, move him to right tackle and go sit Terrence Steele's ass down. He played right tackle in college anyway. That's his natural position. So, I agree with low kick. A lot of things bounced the 49ers away. Yes, they did. But the Cowboys still had opportunities to win the game, and they couldn't do it. Hey, everybody, make sure you hit that like button. My boy, Man Down Sports, always have to remind me. Like and subscribe, y'all. Please, man, we try to do this 3 times a week if this is your first time being here. But come on with it. Yes, letting go of Pollard was a huge, huge, huge mistake. It was a huge mistake. I think every Cowboy fan that was here right? Every Cowboy fan in America, right, thought that, okay, we're getting rid of Pollard, but we are going to address the running back situation somehow, whether it be free agency or we're going to address it in the draft. And we did neither one. And I guess you should have known that after the first round of the draft, when the reporters were sitting there talking to Jerry, of course, at the draft, and they were like, "Hey, man, no, you guys going to take this, this running back thing." He said, "Well, everybody keeps talking about us drafting a running back. We trying to see what Zeke gonna do." What? What Zeke? You seeing what Zeke is gonna do? Yes, Jeffrey, they did. They played better than us. Appreciate your visions, man. Thank you for the subscription, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what, man? Niners fans and 49er fans, we kind of in the same boat with the Super Bowl thing. But hey, one thing that I can say that the 49ers have done is they've been to one. They've been to a few of them. Cowboys ain't even been to an NFC championship game in 30 years, buddy. Not one. Thank you for the love, Sports T. I appreciate you. I do. Oh, man. It's not going to change. It's not. And that's hard for me to say, man, because I love the Cowboys. My first picture as a child is on a Cowboy blanket with the old Nerf football, orange Nerf football. That's my first picture. My father and my grandfather had season tickets to Cowboy games. They played in the Cotton Bowl. They went to the Cotton Bowl. They went to Texas Stadium, and then they went to AT&T. You know what I'm saying? I love the Cowboys. I love them to death. But this is hard to watch. 12-5 first round playoff losses is hard to watch too. You got a couple of wins in there. You know what I'm saying? But like last year, like I wasted $420 on a ticket to go watch that shit. Like it's just like when you have coaches, especially like Kyle Shanahan on the sideline tonight, and they play chess. They don't play checkers. They play chess. And you don't have a chess player on your sideline, you're gonna lose every time. And that's what happens. It's simple. These dudes play chess. You knew as a Cowboy fan, 49er fan, football fan, whatever you are, you knew that the 49ers were going to come out and make some major adjustments in the second half. You knew it. How come the Cowboys didn't know it? They came out with the exact same game plan. And then after that first drive, you're like, oh, shit, man, okay, they made some changes. We got to adjust to the changes. They didn't do that either. Dak Prescott listen, when they go to that 2-minute hurry-up offense, Dak Prescott is a much better quarterback because he's calling his own plays. Don't believe me with that. Go back and watch the preseason game 2 years ago when Dak had the headset on. He was calling all the plays for Will Greer, and Will Greer smoked their asses for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, and it got Will Greer a job in Carolina. Bro, these play calls, every single play call on third down is going to CD Lamb. The only reason that the last pass didn't go to CD Lamb is because they flushed Dak out of the pocket and he had to roll right, and CD Lamb ran a corner route going to the left. He couldn't get him the ball. It's obvious what they do. First down is a run. Second down, throw to the tight end. Third down, find CD. Fourth down, punt. It's been that way for the last 3 years. Believe it or not, there are Cowboy fans in San Francisco and in California in general. Listen, I was in the Navy. I just retired from the Navy a couple years ago, man. And I was stationed in San Diego. I was actually up north in Port Hueneme, California. And I was a member of this group called the Los Angeles Cowboys. And it was a lot of people, man. Cowboy fans are crazy. Your boys ain't got it. Nah, no shit, Clippy. You're right. You are absolutely right. You must have just joined in. Appreciate you, E. I appreciate you. All right, man. I'm done ranting about these Cowboys, man. It's late. I'm going to get me some sleep. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to me, man. I appreciate everybody on here tonight, man. This has been fun. Next week, we will do... Next week, I can't believe we paid Dak all that money. Hey, man, the market is crazy, right? Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert got $55 million. 60's next. Yep, we paid him. But one thing about paying him, it opened up $28 million in the salary cap. So what you should have done is paid his ass during the summer and opened that up so you could have got some free agency love in here. But hey, who am I? Let's do it, Mill. Let's do some film work. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Next week, we're gonna have a guest on here. My buddy Zoe, man, he got an excellent podcast. He's an Atlanta Falcons fan. He got an Atlanta sports podcast. Great dude, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun with him. Falcons are riding high. So, I know he gonna come in here and be real excited. And the last fan I had on here that did the show with me was a damn Detroit fan. So double podcasts have not worked out for me this year at all. So we'll start that next week. We'll go probably Wednesday. We'll do some keys to the game. Saturday, we'll have our guest on and we'll talk about, keys to victory. What the Cowboys can do to try to slow down this rushing attack of the Atlanta Falcons and the play action passes. Because Kirk Cousins, if you give him some where he can throw play action passes, man, he will pick you apart. He will do that. Well, once again, Cowboys lose to the 49ers for the fourth year in a row. Back to the drawing board. All right, everybody. This is Cowboy C3, man. We're going to keep pushing no matter what. DC Foil, one thing about him, man, I love him. I love him. And like I said, it's just like watching your dog run across the street in traffic every week, man. And your poor dog get hit, but he lives, and then we watch him do it again next week. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.